Welcome to this workshop, Find Your Priorities and Set Your Goals in 2022. It's a first part where you're going to map your life and find your priorities, and there is also a second part which is going to be on the 17th of January. So my name is Lenka Kračková. I'm going to introduce myself a bit later. And before the workshop starts, really before the work starts, I would just like to share with you what you will discover during this workshop. So during this workshop, you will discover how to cut through the clutter of all that you want, that you need or wish to do in year 2022, and how to find the most important priorities and goals for you. You will also discover how to uncover some hidden priorities and goals that are really important for your happiness and well-being, but sometimes we kind of put them on the back burner. We a little bit underestimate them, we neglect them, and these hidden priorities and hidden goals often stop us from achieving our more important goals. So it's really important to pay attention to all your priorities, and at the end of the workshop you will have more or less maybe four groups, 4 areas, 3 to 4 priorities that will be that you identified. And then the last thing, so you will discover how to set goals that give you clarity, motivation, and purpose to take action every day. And so this part will be really done at the second workshop on January 17th. So for whom is it? It's really for every different type of person, whatever animal are you. So for all the wolves, all the tigers, all the cats, all the birds, all the horses, dolphins, whoever you are, it's really for you. I've been using this process for individual coaching. So every time I start with individual coaching, I run people through this process. It gives them a lot of clarity, and because it's self-driven process, so you kind of input the content, it's always tailor-made for you and for who you are. So it can be for experts, for leaders, for managers, for business owners who want to create more impact in their roles. It's for all who want to invest their time and energy in meaningful projects. And it's for professionals who want to find motivation to finally act on their ideas. And not only for professionals, but in this group, we have also people who are in retirement. So for anyone, it's really for anyone who wants to find motivation to finally act on their ideas. Sometimes we have ideas that we don't have really time and energy to act on them. So this process will help you to find the motivation and clarity how to act on these ideas. It's for all enthusiasts who want to find new purpose and fulfillment in their day-to-day life. Because when we have the right goals, when we define the goals in the right way, it gives us a lot of purpose. Who am I? So I'm originally from the Czech Republic and now living in Belgium. I have been 20 years in business in different roles, marketing, B2B, sales, logistics, and now I've been coaching for 7 years. And typically I do executive coaching, so individual coaching in companies. I specialize in self-management, which is all around how to manage emotions, how to stay mentally healthy, how to structure yourself in a new role, in new challenges. And I also support people who are transitioning to retirement. And in a nutshell, I help my clients find time, energy, and motivation for their most important projects, which sometimes means that the part of the work I do with them is to identify the projects that are the most important for them. So now, why do we set goals? Often what I see with people is really to have this clarity, to know where you are going, what you're striving for. So have clarity in your mind, cut through the clutter. Also to have some purpose in life, and either the goals itself give you a lot of purpose, that you have this clarity, you strive for something and you achieve it, or you can also have like this hidden purpose in your goals. Like when I was at the university, after the first semester, I was kind of not doing very well at school, and I needed a little bit deeper purpose in my studies. And I thought, well, I really need to work on my English. I would like to go to UK for 1 semester, but let's do it in the way that I finish my bachelor degree instead of 3 years. I'll do it in 2.5 years. So it was kind of a game for me, and that gave me a lot of purpose and actually helped me to finish the bachelor degree sooner and go to UK to study English. So it gave me purpose, but also this feeling of satisfaction, and I thought it would make me happy. So, and also it can give you a lot of excitement and energy when you know that you have something that is important, that matters. And then when you have a goal, then you kind of can see that you're progressing. When you achieve it, you see, okay, I progress in my life. You can feel more fulfilled, so fulfillment. But in reality, and the deeper meaning of why we set goals, and yeah, we mentioned that, is because we believe that achieving these goals will make us happy. So the ultimate goal for me, why we set goals, is that we want to be happy. But the challenge is that sometimes we are chasing wrong goals. So I had some clients who mentioned, well, I am fed up of chasing goals that will make me tired in the end, and where I will spend my energy with very little fulfillment. So I really want to find something that I will enjoy, that will make sense, and I'll feel it's the right goal for me. So I want to put my time and energy into something meaningful. Then the challenge is also that sometimes you're not sure where to focus your time and energy. It's like a big open space, like this foggy road, and you really don't know where to focus your time and energy. I was in that situation years ago when I was doing my B2B. I was new to my B2B sales job, and it was a lot of learning for me. I had to learn a lot of soft skills. I had to learn a lot of hard skills. I moved to Belgium. Everything was new. And I really didn't know from where to start. And when I don't have this clarity, I'm just kind of floating, trying different things, but usually there is no progress because you are missing this clarity. Then another challenge is that sometimes we focus too much on too specific goals, and this closes options for anything unknown. So I mentioned my B2B sales job, and at that time I was also this inner conflict whether it was the right role for me. So I was kind of switching between, shall I look for another job or shall I give it another try at my current job? And then in the end, when I did this process, I realized that my real goal is to enjoy my life and enjoy my work. And so it doesn't really matter if I change a job or if I stay in the job. The goal is enjoy my work. And then I kind of started taking some actions to enjoy my work, and because I took these actions, in the end I started enjoying my sales job, and I even started getting better results, because when you enjoy something, it's easier to get results you need. And then the last challenge is that sometimes we focus too much on the rational rather than emotional, and we are missing some hidden needs. So what do I mean focusing on the rational? In the afternoon, my former client came to the workshop, and after the workshop she told me, I was super clear on my goals. So I came to the workshop super clear on my goals. I left the workshop and those super clear goals, the rational goals, were not there. In the end, I came up with something different. So we really need to tap a little bit into our intuition, and that's why it's so important to map your life, your professional life, your personal life, and identify those priorities and goals that are really important for you, that are emotional, and you will get emotionally involved so that you get enough commitment. And so by saying all this, there are different types of goals. So you can have these tangible goals like, I don't know, I want to find a new job, or I want to find a project that will make me happy, or I want to gain more clients, or I want to get promoted. So these are really tangible goals. But the types of goals I would like to help you with today are goals that are a little bit more visionary. They are a bit general, but still very clear. So it's a process that has been developed by neuro leadership group. So the type of the coaching I studied, it's brain-based coaching. I really love this process because it helps people to find their real priorities, their real goals. And typically people come up with three major goals. When we do this process at the beginning of the individual coaching, it's kind of a little bit intuitive process. But every time at the end people see their goals, they say it's really a spot on. It just summarizes exactly what I want to do, where I want to get in my life in, I don't know, 6 or 9 months. And often what they see when we finish the whole coaching cycle, so after these 6 or 9 months, they see that these goals were complementary. For example, typically it's a personal goal, professional goal, and personal development goal. And often the personal development goal is crucial for achieving their professional goal. So they're really interconnected, and that's why they make so much sense. And so they are focused on what you truly want to accomplish, so what you really want to see in the future in your life. So they are change-based. And then you will see it in the workshop number 2. And then the difference is that they are really more like this lighthouse you see on the pictures. So it's really a vision of where you want to get, what kind of person you want to be, what you want to see in your life. And when you have this clarity of where you want to get in your life, how you want to feel, you kind of start calibrating yourself and you start attracting new solutions and new opportunities. It happened also to me when, again, in that sales job, at the end, I thought, well, I'm happy, but I would really love to have one big client to take care of. And in a couple of weeks, I got an opportunity to get a big client to take care of. That was a really very brief introduction to the goal settings and what kind of goals we are going to define in these 2 workshops. And so in this workshop, in the part 1, we are going to map your current life and identify your top priorities. I'm going to explain you the process. In the meantime, get the paper ready, get the pen ready. It's going to be really a working workshop, so you're going to do the work. And it's a 4-step process, which starts with mapping. So I will ask you to look at your life from a helicopter view and write down all areas or all points that are in your life now. Plus, I will give you some extra questions to really map your whole life now and what you would like to see in the future. Then in the second step, we are going to sort the list. So you're going to have a list of more than 20 items, and you are going to sort them. So you're going to decide whether this is something you want to work on, or whether this item, this area is under control, so you don't want to include them in your goals. So in that way, you really make decisions about what is important, what is working, and what is not working. In the third step, we are going to take all these items, and you are going to group them in groups, typically 3 groups, but you can have 2 or 4 groups. So you will group all the items that are logically connected together. And in the fourth step, you're going to give them a working name, which is really just a working name, because we will use these groups to define goals in the next workshop next week. So why do we kind of break this process in different steps? The reason why we break this process in different steps is because we help our brain to focus on specific tasks. So, for example, in the step number 1, map, we are doing a sort of brainstorming. So we are using part of the brain that is more creative. We are really tapping a little bit deeper into our brain. Sometimes it's more like something hidden, something that is not so obvious if we were really logically thinking. But in the second step, we are going to use really this logical part of the brain where we decide. So it's very conscious process. And if you try to mix these two tasks together, your brain will just get overloaded, and you will have difficulties to come up with something specific. So that's why we really need to go step by step. And then regarding this approach, so that you don't get overwhelmed or overloaded, it's a bottom-up approach. So we really start with details, and we so it's from specific to general. So we start from details, and we create something a little bit more general by creating the groups, the priorities. So you will build conclusions step by step, and in the second workshop, when you're going to define your goals, it will be the same thing. You will be going step by step, building conclusions step by step, so that your brain is really working at its highest capacity. And I just invite you to trust the process. It doesn't have to be complete. In fact, if you forget something at one step, trust your brain. Your brain will remember in the next step. You will add things, you will shape things, so everything will come into the right place at the end. Get your paper ready. I will explain you the first step, and I will give you some time to work through it. So step number 1 is to map. So you will think about your life now. You will kind of take a little bit step back. You will look at it like an observer. You will look at it from a helicopter view. And what I will ask you to list down main topics, main areas in your life that you see. It doesn't matter whether they are problematic or not. Just list down everything that comes to your mind, just using 1 or 2 words. And we are looking for quantity here. So really, if you note down 2 papers, it's okay. You will need to spend more time on sorting out, but we are really looking for quantity, 20 items or more. And I will give you also some examples of these labels. And again, it depends on your life. So it can be work. You can go more specifically into the work part. So what's happening at work at the moment, write it down. It can be your family, daughter, partner, organization. So it's more general, like it's more about self-organization. It can be garden, household, activity, staying active. It can be routine, like a good life routine. But it can be also feelings like lack of joy, lack of purpose, or maybe stress or anxiety, whatever comes to your mind. Write it down. It's a part of your life. So, and I will give you also a couple of suggestions to complete your list. So if you get stuck, read the list again and more topics will come to your mind. Now I will give you 5 minutes to start putting down your list to map your life. And then after 5 minutes, I'm going to ask you questions that will help you complete your list. Ask you some more questions so that you can complete your list. And the next question is, what else would you like to see in your life that is currently missing? And again, it can be something tangible or something intangible, like feelings, for example. The next question, what have you always dreamed of doing? And so again, add some items, areas, in just 1 or 2 words. What have you always dreamed of doing? Okay, the next question is, what else would you like to do or achieve professionally or personally if you had more resources? More time, more money? And the last hint is that you can get inspired by areas that other people indicated in their list. So I'm going to read the list. It's on 2 pages. And you can write down anything that resonates with you, that you would like to add to your list, that is important to you, that you maybe would like to see in your life. So it's health, fitness, social life, friends, creativity, community, emotional life, self-confidence, stress. Well, we don't want to have stress, but maybe it's something that bothers you. Hobbies, sport, travel, education, spirituality, contribution, freedom, fulfillment, planning, time management, communication skills, conflict resolution, prioritizing, revenues, sharing experience and knowledge, leadership, public speaking, or writing. If anything resonates with you, you can add it to your list as well. I really don't know how fast or slow it was, if you had enough time, but you can go back after the workshop and you can complete your list if anything else comes to your mind. But if you feel like you had enough time to make your list, don't try to make it perfect. And let's go to the next step. So we are going to sort the list. And in this step, I'm going to ask you to mark each item, each word or 2 words that you wrote on your list, yes, no, or maybe. And how will you make this decision? So if it's an item that you would like to include in your goals, if it's something you would like to work on, put yes. If it's something that is either working well or it's under control, for example, you might have had on your list sport, but you maybe hired a personal trainer, so it's under control, so you can put no, because that's something it's already ongoing. And if you're not decided whether you would like to work on this item or not, you put maybe. can mark each item. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, I want to include it in my goals. I want to work on it. No, I don't want to work on it. Basically, this step will help you get super clear on your mind what's working well, what's under control, or what needs more attention. So it helps our brain to calm down about certain areas of our lives and again get clarity on where you would like to spend more time, what needs more attention. So now let's go to the third step. So normally now you should have your long list. You should have put at every point, at every item, yes, no, or maybe. So now take items, points where you marked yes, so something you want to work on in the future. So yes or maybe items, and then group all items that are logically connected together in one group. So what does it mean? So only you know which topics are logically connected to each other. But I will give you an example. For example, in my list, I put productivity, routine, organization, being in a hurry, household works. It was, again, all logically connected for me, and I put it in another group and gave a name productivity. So try to group those different items in bigger chunks. In ideal case, it should be 3 groups, but it can happen that you might have 4 groups or just 2 groups. The last step, and you might be doing it as you're putting these items in the groups, is to look at the items, what you have in each group, and think about a name. How would you summarize this group? And it's not yet your goal. We are going to use it for the next session. It's just like this priority. How would you name this priority? How would you name this group? It can be very simple. It can be the word you already have on the list. It can be something different, 1 or 2 words. So, and you can finish it after this workshop. And basically what we did, so whoever has access to the online tutorial, find your priorities and set your goals. So what we did, we did mainly lesson 2, so where we mapped your current life and identified your top priorities. In the next workshop, we are going to do mainly lesson 3, so define your goals in a way that gives you energy, purpose, and motivation to take action. So we will really we will use the worksheets that are in the lesson so that you can really come up with something specific after the workshop, and you can finish all the rest on your own. In the next workshop, we are going to be a little bit more interactive. That means you're going to work in pairs. We are going to use different techniques, free writing as well. I'm going to help you to get more, let's say, to include more emotions and images in your goals, so that really when you read your goal, it's something that talks to you, that creates this emotional charge that makes you excited and makes you motivated to start taking actions. So there is also this bonus section, 2022 planning, and who doesn't have access to this online thing, I'm going to share the link where you can still get it. You can get access, you can get tickets. So in the 2022 planning, there's a special bonus, those 5 worksheets. First one is review, where you can review the past year. And I really recommend you to do that review. It doesn't matter if your year was good or bad. It really helps you to close your year, to make a point what worked well, what didn't work well, and get ready for setting some tangible goals. So these worksheets are a little bit different. So the goals in this part and the bonus, these goals are more kind of tangible, specific. The goals which we are going to define together next week are more visionary. So, and I'm going to explain the difference next week. So the next workshop, next part is in January 17. I'm going to share with you the links where you can get the tickets still if you don't have it. So you can either use the first link or the second link, whatever. It's the same thing basically. After you get your tickets, I will send you more information, access links, and you can continue the work on your own and attend the next workshop. Thank you for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to see you. And I wish you a wonderful evening and take care.